Phasmophobia will be releasing a brand new map soon, as well as reworks of 2 old maps, so let's talk about it. So back on January 3rd, the Phasmophobia devs announced the roadmap for 2024 that shows their future plans for updates along the way. We'll leave a link in the description to the roadmap, as well as the information in this update, as there is stuff I'm not going to be talking about, as we're just going to focus on the new map and the 2 reworks that are going to happen. So if you were not aware by now, the UV on the floor did spell out Point Hope, which a lot of people thought would be a lighthouse map. This is based on the little clipping in the truck, as well as the map that they just put up in the lobby and welcome area of the new Maple Lodge. The devs have now confirmed that Point Hope Lighthouse will be the new map in the game and that it is going to be coming soon. No definitive date mentioned yet. They did say they were hoping to release it sooner than this, but obviously there were setbacks along the way. Looking at a preview for Point Hope Lighthouse, the devs did say that this is going to be a different gameplay experience than anything else, similar to the way that when Maple Lodge Campsite was originally released, this provided a different gameplay experience. The different gameplay is going to be that it's a lighthouse, so there are circular floors that are going to be more cramped and confined. Now, you're basically just going to have 1 room per floor, it seems like. So seeing as the rooms will be smaller, there's not going to be apparently as many hiding places as on other maps, and they're actually instituting looping spots throughout the different floors. Seeing as the rooms will be smaller, the devs did say in the update that this allowed them to create more looping spots and plan hiding spots that are either near or far from staircases, and this is going to force players to make a quick decision while running away from the ghosts. So it definitely seems like they're placing more of an emphasis on looping on this map, which I for one am super excited about, because typically I will play nightmare or no evidence games and I really enjoy looping the ghost, and that's one of the only ways you can tell an obake if you're playing no evidence. Now here's a picture of what the bathroom is going to be on Point Hope, and as you can see, the bathtub and the wall, the devs have said this is going to be a looping spot. So this bathroom here does look super interesting. They also said that there's going to be items for the ghost to throw, so you'll be able to determine a poltergeist. The only thing that worries me is with the divider is it may be kind of hard to see the ghost through the divider or over the divider, and I'm not very good at looping by listening to footsteps, knowing if it's doubled back and turned around to get me. So I know I definitely have to work on that, but hey, practice will make perfect eventually, I guess. Then here's a picture of the maintenance room in Point Hope, which the devs has said will make for a cramped space and extremely intense personal ghost room, which definitely seems interesting. I don't know if that's going to add anything new for now, maybe in the future though. But I do question how hunts are going to go with the more confined rooms. It may be more difficult to get away from the ghost. I wonder if the ghost is going to be able to get line of sight increase on the stairs as you keep going up. I don't know. There's a lot of questions. It definitely seems like it's going to be a new, interesting experience with the map and how to get away from the ghost. That was always kind of my question on how Lighthouse would work. Looping tends to make sense, and I'm looking forward to seeing the rest of it. The devs have been criticized in the past for making new updates seemingly geared more towards veteran players, experienced players, over being beginner friendly. It does seem like this map may not be beginner friendly anyways, but I'm not sure what level you will have to unlock it anyways for newer players. But I also don't see anything wrong with having a map that's geared for more experienced players that are better at getting away from the ghosts and doing all that. I don't think every map needs to be geared specifically towards beginner players. Same way how a lot of players don't like larger maps because they are more difficult. It was the same way with me when I first started playing. I wanted to avoid the large map, just like Prison, because it was more difficult. Seeing as this map may require a lot of looping, is it going to be more beginner friendly? Probably not, but it may be a good way to practice your looping skills. I guess we shall see. I'm really looking forward to the map. I think it's a very cool idea, and I'm really excited to see how they're going to execute it, because these screenshots here definitely make it look like they put a lot of thought and a lot of effort into the map. I'm just super looking forward to it. Let me know your thoughts on it. You think it's going to be very difficult seeing as looping is there, or are you looking forward to it and looking forward to dying to the ghost anyways? Now in the same roadmap article, after talking about Point Hope, came 2 pretty shocking revelations. The devs saying that both of the farmhouses, Grafton and Bleasdale, are going to be reworked and updated. Personally, I love both the farmhouses. I always thought they were very good. I love playing them. I thought the creepiness of a haunted cabin in the woods just made for an awesome environment and atmosphere. Now, I was always a bigger fan of Grafton because I hated that freaking attic in Bleasdale. Could not stand it. And I always seemed to get an attic ghost, and it would always be super frustrating. So I typically played Grafton more as it was a little bit smaller, even if Grafton sort of broke my heart some with the devs taking away the always guaranteed chair hiding spot recently. But either way, I love the idea about the farmhouses, and the execution of them was pretty well. But the devs did say that the farmhouses were similar both visually and in layout, which I definitely agree with. And I think a lot of players who played maybe still do. It's tough to tell them apart. I didn't create my own little acronym, I guess that's what you call it, to distinguish between both of them. I always said ABC, Attic, Bleasdale. That's how I remembered. C really meant nothing. Attic, Bleasdale, Cab. Maybe you could say say that. Wait, that's how I remembered it. Is it lame? Yes. Did it work? Absolutely. That's how I remember it. ABC, Attic Bleasdale. Either way, the devs said that they want both the farmhouses to have a reasonably sized layout and adjust to a focus on making the buildings feel more authentic. And that means that they may be taking away bedrooms and bathrooms and have more rooms with purpose for the families that have lived there. I think this is a great change. There were a lot of bathrooms, a lot of bedrooms, just a lot of similar stuff throughout both of the farmhouses. That was not like a huge deal, but it made nothing sort of stand out. So the devs first talked about Grafton's new design, and they say that they want more of a rundown farmhouse with floor, ceilings, and windows collapsing, broken furniture or furniture covered in a lot of sheets, ready to be packed, and with dust and cobwebs all throughout, which I think is an excellent idea and definitely brings that more authentic abandoned cabin farmhouse feel. And then here in the concept art, this is the twins' bedroom that has been converted into a large seamstress workshop full of old mannequins, rolls of cloth, fabric, drawings scattered amongst the floor. Also, there's many clothes rails scattered among the floor that the devs have said can make great hiding spots, as well as areas to loop the ghost. The devs also had this ominous statement of just don't look the mannequin in the eye. I'm curious as to what all that's going to be about. Does it actually have any meaning, or is it just one of those fluff statements? What I did find interesting is that it looks like the devs are again putting an emphasis on having spots for you to be able to loop the ghost, which again excites me. Next, as we take a look at Bleasdale, the devs said that since Bleasdale is larger, that they wanted a more of a grand mansion style with rooms that are ornate and cluttered with statues and expensive belongings. They're also repurposing a lot of the rooms, saying that one bedroom will now become the owner's collectibles room that's filled with rare objects from his travels, guns, cultural trinkets, and memorabilia that are filling inside of glass cases. Also mentioned that another bedroom has been converted into the wife's tea room and has different silverware and glassware and that kind of stuff. So it's going to be nice to see that not every room is just a bedroom. It's going to have multi-purpose with, again, different objects and trinkets inside, which should make it interesting. So now for my favorite part of the news is that the devs are going to completely overhaul the attic of Bleasdale. This is going to be a picture of the new attic. Obviously, as I said before, the attic was always frustrating to me. It was just a wide open floor with not a lot going on to it, just a couple of dressers or whatever here or there. Nothing much super exciting. They have decided to move the staircase, and the attic itself is split into two parts. The first half of the attic is storage, crammed to the brim with barely stable boxes, old furniture, and dusty memories, and the second half has been inhabited by the couple's granddaughter, a girl that loves the unknown, so that her self-converted bedroom is covered with witchy belongings, suspiciously haunting books, and dream catchers. I absolutely love how they took just this annoying room and they made it into something that's more lively, to better atmosphere, environment, and it looked like somebody actually lived there and set stuff up, which should actually make it more exciting to be able to go in the attic. Huge shout out to the devs for deciding to do that. Obviously, they knew that the attic was not people's favorite. Both of these reworks for the farmhouses seemingly want to add more items to set them apart from other maps and make them feel more unique and more alive or abandoned, but like past life was there. I will say this though, as much as I am really looking forward to the farmhouse reworks, I do question why they chose the farmhouses to get reworked instead of the high school. If you've been around a bit, you probably have heard me say, especially after the Sunny Meadows update, that high school should have been the next map that they looked at reworking. One reason being, I love the concept of an abandoned, haunted high school. Like, I think it's really cool, amazing idea for a map. But the issues with the high school feel like were the same issues that caused the devs to want to update the old asylum into what Sunny Meadows is now. That is where every room is almost exactly the same. There's nothing that really sets it apart. There's a lot of just empty parts, not very many interesting areas. It's just a square with a lot of the same rooms. There's just nothing that like really makes it amazing or really give it that like old abandoned high school feel. Like, I think they could make it a bit better. If I had to guess the reason they chose to rework the farmhouses, it's probably going to be because players play the farmhouses more than they do the high school, as players tend to like the smaller maps more than the larger ones. So it may make more sense for player base wise to rework farmhouses. I'm going to hold out hope that they do rework the high school next though, because I do really enjoy that concept. I still like playing the high school, but it definitely could use a great update, just like Sunny Meadows, Maple Lodge, and hopefully these farmhouses. Let me know your thoughts on all of these changes. Are you worried because the devs seem to be placing more of an emphasis on looping? And if you are, maybe you can click or tap the screen now, because I will show you how to survive hunts as well as go over some of the basics of looping. So maybe you can be more prepared. Happy hunting, everybody, and I will see you over there.